Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Our salvation can come only through the farmers. Mahatma Gandhi, the beloved father of the nation, declared at the opening of the Benares Hindu University in 1916. This was Gandhi's first notable public appearance after his return to India in 1915. The inauguration of the Benares Hindu University was a moment of national pride because it had been an entirely Indian initiative conceived, built and funded by Indians. But Gandhi noticed that something was amiss in this happy celebration of nationalism. Only the princes, the philanthropists, dignitaries and important Congress leaders like Annie Besant were attending the event. They did not represent the mass of middle class, lower middle class and poor sections of the Indian society living in the villages. So Gandhi reminded the elite and privileged invitees at BHU about the labouring poor and had been forgotten and underrepresented. He stressed the importance of peasants and villagers whose contribution was invaluable in forming the Indian economy and society. Gandhi understood early that building an Indian government would be impossible without the support of the common men and women of India. Indian nationalism could not belong only to the doctors, lawyers and the rich landlords. It had to be broader and more diverse for it to succeed. Mahatma led most of his nationalist campaigns in India after his famous speech at Benares. Before that, he had lived abroad for 22 years and engaged in grassroots activism in South Africa. His work in South Africa had shaped his political ideology, which he then applied to the Indian national movement. A peasant from Champaran in Bihar approached Gandhi at the annual Congress held in Lucknow in December 1916. He requested Gandhi to help fight the injustices which the indigo planters in Champaran were facing in the hands of the British rulers. Mahatma Gandhi travelled to Champaran and spent most of 1917 fighting for the cause of the farmers. He obtained security of tenure for the peasants as well as the freedom to cultivate crops of their choice. In 1980, he led 2 more campaigns to secure rights for the poor and neglected sections of the society. He demanded better working conditions for the textile mill workers in Ahmedabad. He asked the state to reduce taxes for the peasants of Kheda when their crops failed. These local struggles were building blocks and a precursor to the countrywide national movement which Gandhi would soon be launching. He first organized a movement on a national level to protest against the Rowlatt Act. During the Great World War or World War between 1914 and 1918, the Defence of India Act had been passed by the British government. Through this act, they censored the press and also permitted detention of convicts without trial. They wanted to control and repress German-inspired rebellions and threats in India, especially in Punjab through this act. Even after the Great War ended, the Rowlatt Acts tried to continue these strict rules and regulations in India. A committee chaired by Sir Sidney Rowlatt suggested the passing of the Rowlatt Act or the Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act of 1919. The legislature of the British India passed this act. Different sections of the Indian public opposed this act, and Gandhi organized this public outrage into a movement against the act. Strikes became common in North and West India. Shops shut down and schools remained closed. In Punjab, people were specially resentful as many had fought on the side of the British in the Great War and expected rewards for their services. Instead, an act was imposed upon them which went against their interest. Gandhi was detained on his way to Punjab. Other prominent members of the local Congress were arrested. The uprising and strikes across the country reached a shocking and tragic end with the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. On April 1919, the British brigadier Reginald Dyer ordered his troops to open fire on a nationalist meeting in Amritsar and killed over 400 people. Gandhi became a national leader after the Rowlatt protests or the Rowlatt Satyagraha. He then launched a campaign with the aim of attaining Swaraj or self-rule in India within a year. The campaign turned into the famous non-cooperation movement. Mahatma joined hands with the Khilafat movement to strengthen the effect of the non-cooperation movement by uniting the two major religions of Indian Hinduism and Islam. All sections of the Indian society launched popular action that showed their non-cooperation or renunciation of all voluntary association with the British government. There were innumerable strikes across the country. Students stopped going to the government-run schools and colleges. Lawyers refused to attend court. Farmers in Awadh refused to pay taxes, and peasants in Khammon refused to carry loads for their colonial officials. Gandhi had stressed that all public acts of non-cooperation should be carried out non-violently and peacefully. However, in many places, people conducted the protests in ways which best suited their interest. Gandhi called off the movement when a group of peasants attacked and set a fire to a police station in Chauri Chaura of modern-day Uttar Pradesh. Several unprepared constables died in the conflagration, and this was directly against Gandhian ideals. Gandhi was born in a merchant family. He was educated in England and he was a lawyer by profession. In spite of these identities, he became a cult figure to the common men and women of India. This was because of the way he dressed and led his life, following the principle of simple living and high thinking. Instead of wearing western suits or band galas, he wore a dhoti or a loin cloth. He embraced khadi, a fabric produced in India, and encouraged everyone to discard Western goods. The popular image of Bapu, which captured the public imagination, was that of him spinning cloth on his chakra or spinning wheel. Gandhi broke the boundary or divide between manual and mental labor with this act. For most of history, the right of mental or intellectual labor has been restricted to select people of the society. Manual labor has been given to the lower castes and to the poor. Gandhi was also associated with a group of highly talented people like Mahadev Desai, Vallabhbhai Patel, J.B. Kripalani, Subhash Chandra Bose, Abdul Kalam Azad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sarojini Naidu, Govind Ballash Pant, and C. Raja Gopalachari. They believed in Gandhi's ideals, hopes, and vision for India. The Indian industrialists and entrepreneurs who enjoyed British favours also began to support Gandhi when they were recognized his mass appeal. Some industrialists like G.D. Birla openly supported the nationalist movement. The industrialists did not want to be in trouble if Purna Swaraj replaced the British government. This tells us how the British and their supporters were intimidated by Gandhi's rising popularity. Gandhi was arrested many times during the course of the nationalist movement. Even the judge, Justice C.N. Broomfield, who presided over Gandhi's trial during the non-cooperation movement, admired, respected, and acknowledged Gandhi as a person. The judge's speech attests to the fact. Gandhi's popularity lies in the fact that he was a social reformer besides being a political activist. He worked for the empowerment of women, the abolition of untouchability, and Hindu-Muslim unity. His secular and democratic vision of a free India converted many to his cause. Gandhi also advocated against the excessive use of machinery because it replaces human labor, spelling unemployment for many people. The Industrial Revolution replaced human labor worldwide with machines. The current talk is about whether artificial intelligence will replace daily routine jobs in the future, again throwing people out of employment. Yuval Noah Harari discusses how the aim should be to protect employees and not mechanical and routine jobs in an AI-dominated future. You can find out more about this from the book 21 Lessons from the 21st Century. See you soon in our next video, where we will talk about Gandhi's famous Salt Satyagraha and Quit India movements. Till then, happy learning.